Yes, yes, here are viewers of Equinoxe Television, 6 p.m. by 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of the news. We begin right away with our major stories. As usual, it is the end of the year 2022, and most Cameroonians say the year was characterized, but it was a very difficult one in the economic sense of it. High cost of living characterized the entire year 2022. In this edition of the news, we will be bringing to you their reactions, and also in this newscast, we tell you that the year 2022 was as well characterized by so many scandals, ranging from the COVID gate to Glencoe gate, among others. We will be compiling all of those for you in this edition of the news, so stay with us for details and more. Welcome back, viewers. We begin this edition of the news with some scandals which characterized the year 2022, especially in Cameroon, beginning from COVID Gate to the Glencoe Gate mismanagement of budget. Heads 95 and 65 are some of the scandals worth billions of francs CFA which were revealed in the year 2022. A reporter for me, Armstrong Sander, comes back to those scandals in this report.
May 2022, a corruption scandal rocks Cameroon. Scandalous revelations of an Anglo-Swiss commodity trading and mining company, Glencoe, after a legal process initiated, sustained and concluded in the United Kingdom and the United States of America, Glencoe pleaded guilty of bribery and corruption worth 7 billion francs CFA used in order to gain contracts and deals at the National Oil Refinery Company Sonora and the National Hydrocarbons Company SNH. Though guilty, Cameroon's fight to follow up and reclaim the money is still missing in action days out of 2022, an affair which has now been baptized as the Glencoe Gate in Cameroon. Just like the COVID Gate, where the Cameroonian judicial system remains strangely silent despite a report from the audit bench of the Supreme Court confirming numerous irregularities in the management of billions of francs CFA meant to combat COVID-19. Another scandal that rocked Cameroon and the city of Douala in particular was a controversial demolition exercise that saw over 70 families rendered homeless in the Dikolo neighborhoods of the Douala Ward municipality. After a sustained alarm raised by victims and rights defenders, Cameroonian authorities ordered a halt to a project to construct an international standard hotel on the disputed portion of land. 2022 in Cameroon was also characterized by a state scandal linked to the use of two budget heads inscribed in the state budget. Budget Head 94, dedicated to the state intervention in investment and finance at the tune of 95.9 billion francs CFA annually, and Budget Head 65, dubbed state intervention and finance at over 400 billion francs CFA annually. Over 1,500 civil servants, heads of enterprises and individuals were called up to justify transactions linked to the two budget heads, which reportedly cost the state of Cameroon hundreds of billions of francs CFA over the years.
And now, still retrospecting the year 2022, most Cameroonians say the year was a very difficult one in the economic sense of it. High cost of living, they say, characterized the entire year 2022. Our staff lady Lucy Liengu Essien spoke with some Cameroonians here in the economic capital Douala and compared this report for the news.
2022 draws to a close. Cameroonians live the year differently. They experience diverse views.
2022 has experienced increase in prices of basic commodities. You know, last year at times you could give 10,000 francs as money for food in a house, but this time around, this year, it has actually doubled. The prices of everything in the market has doubled.
Well, it was too difficult. By the way, this environment is a new environment we have discovered, and We are paying the money before traveling here, before having our own daily bread. But when we were upside, we work flare. Daily we can have about 5,000 francs. We deliver our own family. But now we're having things too difficult.
Others think in the year 2022 there was a drop in the standard of living.
If we want to look at the economy of our country this year in 2023, maybe when they will analyze the budget for the year, it must have had an increment. But if you look at the standard of living, it's very poor this year. It is very, very poor. People are suffering a lot. We understand that most of our brothers depend on imported goods, and the customs procedure is not favorable for those importers, which is one of the things that boosts our economy, especially in the economic capital.
To housewives, the year has been tough.
The year 2022 was not very easy. It was painful for the Cameroonians. It's not easy because to eat, when you go to the market to buy even rice, all is up. Even oil, all is up, sugar. You can have 4 sugar for 50 francs. It's not easy. And we hope that the new year will bring us a good future.
Addressing the problem of unemployment, a young Cameroonian says the public sector did its best in absorbing job-seeking Cameroonians.
No, well, in 2022, it happens to be one of those years that the people who did grade 1, some years back that they may have made 10 years, government integrated them. Yes, so you see that employment rate in the government sector must have witnessed an increase, but in private sectors there is decrease because a lot of private sectors have laid off their workers because of limited jobs.
Cameroonians expect the year 2023 to be different.
And now in the Douala 4 municipality in Bonaberi, the DO for the Douala 4 has called on the local population to collaborate with security forces to eradicate or reduce the rate of insecurity in Bonaberi and also the rate of hard drug consumption. A reporter, Innocent Azar, will also be taking us to Matuke. Matuke is a village in Banga in the Mongo division. He will be telling us more about the insecurity situation there as well. Let's now have his report.
This is not a movie production, but real happening. For Fier Christophe, Joe of Douala 4 subdivision, gendarmes and police officers chasing to apprehend drug addicts in Mabanda, Nkomba and Grananga in Bonaberi in broad daylight. Video and security officers were evaluating operations carried out to curb insecurity and consumption of narcotics in the Douala 4 municipality.
Voilà ça. Voilà. Vous appelez ça quoi? Non, tout ça ce sont les filons.
To his greatest surprise, some people are still endorsed in hard drug consumption, thus implying efforts need to be doubled. They were in possession of cannabis and drugs of all sorts. I am encouraging the security forces to continue this fight. Drugs were seized from the hoodlums arrested and their hideout destroyed. It was also an opportunity for the divisional officer to sensitize the population on the dangers of consumption of hard drugs.
Sensibiliser les populations.
Parents, quarter heads and local vigilantes have been sensitized.
Le ghetto était la dépendance d'une maison d'habitation.
Elsewhere, in Matuke, a village in Banga subdivision in the Mungo division of the Littoral region, which neighbors the southwest region, a woman is arrested and put behind a gendarmerie pick-up vehicle for questioning. The locals reported her to the visiting divisional officer of Banga, Nkefo Christian, on a tour and putting in place of an interim chief that the woman abuses her husband frequently by inviting armed men suspected to be Amber Boys to beat him up whenever he hurts her. Accusations refuted by the woman. Before leaving Matuke village, the divisional officer challenged the population to denounce separatists from neighboring villages in the southwest region and their activities in Matuke so as to have a peaceful transition into 2023. He also pledged to make sure the plights of the people, like lack of electricity and the fights over land properties, are addressed.
And some lawyers have continued to mount pressure on the Cameroon's Minister for Justice, Laurent Iso, to organize the aptitude test and pupillage examination for law graduates. The bar entrance examination has not been organized for over 10 years now, and legal minds are decrying gross violation of the law by the Minister for Justice and Keeper of the Seal, Laurent Iso. Let's now listen to Barrister Ian Lewis in that effect in this excerpt.
Now today, the Cameroon bar exam has not been organized by the minister, who is the only authority competent in Cameroon to organize the bar exam. So on the question of why have I taken the Minister of Justice to court, you see, I'm a lawman, I like justice, especially social justice. The law states very clearly that the Minister of Justice and the Keeper of the Seals shall organize the bar exam every year in the month of December. We see that the last bar exam in Cameroon was organized in the year 2014. We are now in the year 2022, yet the Minister of Justice has never organized the bar exam since 2014. Is that fair? Is that justice? No. The Minister of Justice is supposed to be the number one lawman in the country, the vanguard of justice. But look at his behavior. There is a dereliction of duty on the part of the Minister of Justice. The Minister of Justice has failed in his duty to organize the bar exam, and as a result of that, he has frustrated so many law graduates. The law graduates in Cameroon are innumerable. They are under frustration, going through difficult situations now because the minister has not organized the bar exam. And that's why, as a lawyer, I cannot give a blind eye. I cannot say because I'm a lawyer already, let me forget about the organization of bar exams in Cameroon. No. That exam should be organized every year as stipulated by the law. And since the minister has not organized the bar exam, that's why I've sued the Minister of Justice. The name of the case is Barrister Ian Lewis against the Minister of Justice and the Keeper of Seals.
And now Barrister Ian Lewis further explains the legal disposition which is being violated by the Minister for Justice.
The law, by the way, first and foremost, that regulates the bar exam in Cameroon is Decree number 91/305 of 4th July 1991. The law states clearly in its section 1 that the aptitude test, which is the bar exam, into pupillage at the bar shall be organized every year in the month of December. To just put it in a short form, it states that the bar exam shall be organized every year in the month of December by the Minister of Justice. Section 2 of that same decree states that a decree of the Minister of Justice shall lay down the condition, state the date and place, as well as publish the list of the candidates to write the bar exam. But since 2014, the minister has never done that. He has given a blind eye. It's like Cameroonians have to beg the minister to do his job. That's not what it's supposed to be. The minister should sit up and organize that bar exam with immediate effect. Then on the question of concerning what has the minister violated in failing to organize the bar exam, like I just said earlier, Decree number 91/305 of 4th July 1991 states that the Minister of Justice and Keeper of the Seal shall organize the bar exam every year in the month of December. The minister has violated that law. If the law says that organize the bar exam every year in the month of December, every year, so many years have passed, the minister has not organized the bar exam. It means it's very clear, the evidence is clear. The Minister of Justice has violated the law, and he keeps violating the law with impunity. I think he should be sanctioned by the president. Yes, he should be sanctioned for violating that law, for frustrating the lives of so many law graduates in Cameroon.
And now we move on. We come back to the death of world football legend popularly known as Pelé. He is no more. He died yesterday after battling with cancer for some time now. He quit the stage at the age of 82. Let's now come back to his life with a sportsman, Smart Jikan Gabriel.
Born on October 23rd, 1940 in Sao Paulo, Edson Arantes do Nascimento, aka Pelé, is the greatest player of all time. The popularity of Edson Arantes do Nascimento started in 1958 when he became the youngest player to represent his country, Brazil, at the age of 17 in a FIFA World Cup. He didn't only represent but scored a brace at the final, which helped Brazil to win the title against Sweden. He then won the 1962 edition in Chile and 1970 edition in Mexico, where he became the only player to have won the FIFA World Cup trophy 3 times with his national football team, the Seleção of Brazil. Pelé's outstanding record earned him several awards, as he created a record of being the first player to score 77 goals for his country, Brazil, in 92 matches, a record that was recently broken by Neymar Jr. during the just-ended FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Apart from being a sportsman, Edson Arantes do Nascimento also worked with the government of Brazil. In 1995, Fernando Henrique Cardoso, who was then president of Brazil, appointed Pelé as the Minister of Sports. During his reign, multiple reforms against corruption in state football associations were presented before he resigned from his position on April 30, 1998. Edson Arantes do Nascimento also played some key roles in films in which he was the main actor. Pelé, before his death, had been hospitalized at the Albert Einstein Hospital in Sao Paulo, where he has been battling with a severe cancer infection.
The entire world has been pouring tributes to Edson Arantes, known as Pelé, who passed on yesterday. Among the prominent personalities pouring tributes to Pelé is Cameroonian President Paul Biya. Our reporter Mala Glory picked some reactions on social media and compiled them in this report.
Since the announcement of the death of the football legend Pelé, the social media has been flooding with messages of tribute to him. One of which is that of President Paul Biya of the Republic of Cameroon. He wrote on his Twitter page saying, "I pay my respect and tribute to Brazilian football legend Edson Arantes do Nascimento, known as Pelé." Macky Sall of Senegal wrote on his Twitter page saying, "The world of football has lost an emblem and its reference." He goes ahead to say the 82-year-old legend has made a difference in the history of football, while Ahmadu Buhari, the Nigerian president, mourns on his page that the world will never forget him. Ali Bongo Ondimba and Andry Rajoelina, President of Gabon and President of Madagascar respectively, have not been indifferent to Pelé's death. Football star Samuel Eto'o regrets the death of the icon. President of the Cameroon Football Federation bids farewell to Pelé on his Twitter page. Football lovers worldwide since Thursday 29 are still in shock. Following the death of the world champion Edson Arantes do Nascimento, the Brazilian government has announced 3 days of national mourning in a bid to pay tribute to the legend.
Pelé would always be known as the king of football, so long live the king. Thank you, viewers, for always being there. That was it for the news. Don't go away. Our programs continue as usual. The news in the French language comes up at 8 p.m. Stay with us on Equinoxe Television.
Equinoxe Télévision, au-delà de l'image, nous rendons compte.
If you suspect you may have a coronavirus infection, please call your healthcare provider in advance and let them know you are